What's going on there, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the Craftavore Tastes, and something a little bit different today, actually. So in this episode, we are actually not going to be reviewing beer, but I am actually going to be reviewing a bourbon. So I got a little bit of a recommendation from a buddy of mine, Adam, who had said that New Holland, out of, where are they? They're actually in Holland, Michigan. Actually does some distilling, and apparently they made a bourbon, or they distilled a bourbon that they finished in oak barrels that previously contained their beer. I'm not exactly sure which of the New Holland beers those barrels had, but so today we're going to be reviewing New Holland's Artisan Spirits Beer Barrel Bourbon, which I thought would be kind of freaking cool. I've never reviewed spirits before, so this will be a little bit interesting and a first time for both you and me, or me and you. And so let's just get straight into the drill, man. Let's go ahead and actually pour this out into a nice glass. I'm gonna do it neat because I'm not a savage. We'll take a look at the appearance, we'll get the aroma, we'll taste it, and then I guess we'll rate it. I don't know exactly how I'm going to rate it, but perhaps maybe I'll just stick with the untapped cap system because that's kind of what I know. Uncharted territory here, folks. All right, so New Holland Artisan Spirits Beer Barrel Bourbon coming in at 40% ABV or 80 proof. And yeah, super stoked, man. Let's go ahead. I'll actually just kind of do the tasting and then maybe kind of read a little bit off the back. I think they actually provide some tasting notes kind of here. So I'm just going to actually go ahead and just pour a little bit into that glass. Get that lined up. Okay. How's she look? Well, looks like bourbon. Obviously coming in a super kind of nice amber, kind of deep mahogany kind of color. Yeah. You know, has a little bit of kind of alcohol lacing as I kind of move it around the glass a little bit. Looks pretty much exactly like a bourbon should, right? Really not much more than I can say about the appearance than that. So let's go ahead and try to get ourselves a little bit of an aroma here. So, getting obviously a little bit of that, you know, natural, that sour kind of mash. Big blast of kind of, you know, obviously alcohol that kind of rises to the top in the aroma. Also getting a nice bit amount of kind of like vanilla or kind of toasted or charred oak. I'm looking for characteristics from that beer barrel. It's tough. I don't, you know, I don't know what, you know, that barrel, the oak from the beer barrel is obviously what's going to come to the forefront, but I just don't know what else I'm going to be looking for that would potentially make the aroma distinctive, where I could pinpoint that this came from a barrel that previously housed beer. It's probably would be helpful if I knew what beer was in the barrel previously, but yeah, I mean, ultimately in the end, yeah, big kind of vanilla kind of notes, a little bit of kind of like sweet toffee kind of going on. All of those kind of traditional notes that you're going to get out of, you know, obviously bourbon. It smells really great though. I mean, it smells like an excellent bourbon. So let's go ahead and give her a taste. Cheers. Okay. Ooh, that's nice. So, taste follows up a little bit more, obviously, in that toasted charred oak, vanilla, a little bit of tobacco kind of notes. You even kind of got like a little nice kind of like sweet kind of cherry, or like almost like maybe perhaps, it's not necessarily a dark fruit, you know, a little bit of kind of fruited kind of character going on there, which adds in just kind of a little bit of a layer of kind of like sugar and kind of sweetness. It tastes absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm searching for that beer barrel or that beer kind of component. What I think would be interesting is if I did this side by side with just, you know, traditional kind of regular bourbon to see if there's anything I can pick up on. The only other spirit that I had that was actually aged in barrels that previously held beer was a Jameson limited edition bottle, and I think I still have it here. Yes, I do. So a Jameson Caskmates that was actually finished in craft beer barrels provided by Captain Lawrence Brewing Company. And so what I found was really interesting about this particular spirit was I knew the beer that the barrel was in, or what was previously housed in that barrel, and it was actually their pale ale. And there was aspects of that particular Jameson where I could pick up a little bit of those pale malt characteristics, which was kind of cool. This I'm kind of flying a little blind. So, you know, from me and my perspective, like, it just tastes like a really, really good bourbon. I'm gonna go back in for another taste. Yeah, super well balanced, incredibly drinkable. Definitely something you can easily have neat. You know, if you're more of a rocks person, that's okay too. I know I mentioned being a savage previously. That was wrong. That's not right. Because actually, believe it or not, sometimes I have my spirits on rocks too. Often I have them neat, but anyway. Yeah, like, so I'm going to drive into the rating time right now because I don't know how much there is more that I can say about it. And so here's my thoughts on this. I don't necessarily know, or I can't pick up any characteristics that this perhaps maybe was distilled by a brewery or had been housed or aged in barrels that previously contained craft beer. With that said, it is an extremely drinkable, it is a very smooth, it is a very flavorful bourbon, and I think I paid $34 for this particular bottle. For the $7.50, and to be perfectly honest with you, I think that's a really awesome price point for the quality of bourbon that is coming out of that bottle right now. Like, I think this is really, really excellent. I think it's awesome, and I think that's a really sweet deal. And so from a flavor perspective, I think it goes beyond just being a marketing gimmick, and it's actually a really well-crafted top shelf bourbon at a very affordable price. All right, so that's my thoughts. Rating? Geez, this one's kind of tough. I don't even really kind of know what to give it. I would kind of suggest, perhaps if I was trying to equate this in a cap style rating, a 4.25, like, I think would be appropriate, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to confuse this with a Pappy Van Winkle or, you know, a bourbon of extremely high caliber. But at the same time, it is significantly above average from a bourbon perspective. And it's actually really, really well done. And given the price point, it actually, in my opinion, makes a really great value. So if you see it, go ahead and pick it up. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of the Craftavore Tastes. Hope you join me again for another episode where I drink, I review, I rate, and then I repeat. Cheers.